Welcome to an episode of Future Bites, Exploring Tomorrow's Trends. I'm Susie Badaracco, president of Culinary Tides. We'll explore emerging trends, uncover why they happen, and offer navigation tips. This episode highlights a trend from the 2024 National Restaurant Association Conference, or the NRA. So let's get started with crafting complexity, how add-ins and mixers shape beverage trends. Add-ins and mixers are a way to elevate the experience for your consumers. And oftentimes they can be the backbone of many key trends. So whether the aim is multisensorial or it's high texture, strong flavors, it's interactive, these are elements that are critical for all consumers, not just the younger consumers. And even though social media may be focused on a few of these items, it's really up to you to decide where do you want to focus, what will have the broadest appeal and the greatest application for your company, whether it's food service or retail. So let's consider a few of the poster children. And again, poster children are not a trend themselves. They are an example of how a trend is embodied. So you might be aiming at surprise and delight or escapism as reward through the beverage. Maybe you're looking at desserts, or on the palate, you're looking more for adventure and excitement through taste or waking up the senses. You could also go textural with the beverage with add-ins and mixers, or visual. So it might be visually engaging, could be have color changing effects, for example, or maybe health is where you want to focus. So functional and functional fizz. And research backs up these elements. So what we always recommend when you're looking at research, look across multiple researchers. If you are focused on only one single researcher, it's like you're trying to see the puzzle, the complete picture, by staring at a single piece. So for example, many younger consumers are looking for flavor additions when they're talking about coffee, or others are looking at floral notes that they're looking for. They may be many that look for new and exciting spices that they've not tried. And a majority are looking for functional elements, whether it's food or beverage, rather than get those from supplements. So we want to introduce affinity scales. Affinity scales are exactly like what they sound. On the high end of an affinity scale, you have elements that are very approachable. People know, love, and trust these items. Low end of an affinity does not mean they're elements to avoid. It means they might have a strong personality, or they're expensive, or maybe they're a newer kid on the block when it comes to trends or expressing a trend. So there's all reasons something could be low, but it doesn't mean it's something you should necessarily avoid. And although sweet is at play, the larger share of add-ins and mixers actually are skewing savory, whether you're in alcohol or non-alcohol. So an example of some of these high affinity elements would be things like some of the varietal fruits, or warm spices, coffee, but as an add-in or a mixer, anything house-made, or even creative ice. In the center, you have elements more like functional, or this is also where your tropical flavors or fruits come in play. You could also go sweet. So again, in the news, you've seen sweet hybrids, salty, spicy, smoky, or below you can see there's also just sweet browns, which are your natural sugars. That's why molasses, honey, even raw sugars show up. This might skew towards florals or your next gen citrus, or maybe your goal is functional or flavors that tingle. So things like ancho chilies or peppermint or even bitters fit here as well. And again, low on the lower end might be your stronger personality items like pickled, smoked, fermented, varietal vinegars, and even tamarind, which again is a newer kid to the block. So by engaging any of these elements with your add-ins and mixers, what you're doing is you're cross-tying or you're layering trends. You're satisfying multiple drivers for consumers, and thereby you're creating products that have a longer life cycle, which is something we all want. So 3 things I'd like to leave you in. Think of add-ins and mixers as a beverage party dress. They set the tone for the consumer's experience. Also, elevated experiences can be expressed through visual or textural, or it might be interactive, flavor, aroma, or any combination of these. And also incorporating consumer drivers and stacking trends in products, again, extends their longevity. And that's a wrap for today's Future Bites. Stay tuned for more insights into tomorrow's trends. If you'd like to continue the conversation, feel free to reach out to us through our QR code or any of the avenues I have here for you. Thank you so much.